Hello insiders, welcome. So I created this video to give you a summary of those two really nice sessions from last week, the 2nd and the 4th of September. So I'm really glad about the participation and I'm really thankful for all the great input, honest feedback that you guys gave me. So it makes this so much fun and so enjoyable to see also my own blind spots. So I promise to use my hands a bit more. So I've got this set up now. Use a different microphone. I hope you can all hear me well. So I'm using this video to share with you the main themes from those meetings and also give you a number of surprises. Two at the beginning of the video and two at the end of the video. There's quite a number of things. This is a packed week, packed number of things that I want to share with you. And bear with me, so I'm playing around a lot here again. So surprise number one. Surprise number one. If you are interested in EQ, IQ, and personality, then there is a session that you can join globally, anywhere in the world, with the Singapore Strength Finder, the Strength Finder Singapore Network. And it's run by Alex Wong, who's one of the insiders to this program too. You have seen him probably in one of the sessions. So this is a session that I run, he's hosting, to put a spotlight on the difference between IQ, EQ, and personality, and how that influences performance. I'm certified as an EQI 2.0 practitioner. I'm a Strength Finder coach too. I'm certified in DISC and in MBTI. So I'm using this session to especially point a spotlight on EQI and highlight how can EQI be built. The session would normally cost $30. Alex agreed to make it free for insiders. So the instructions how you can get to that are in the email, in the newsletter. So I hope to see as many of you there as possible. Surprise number two begins with a short video that I made for another program that happens in 2 weeks. I'll press play on that video now.
Have you ever wondered how you can send your team in a downward spiral where they are disengaged, unmotivated, and unproductive? We are here to help. We share with you 4 effective ways how different types of leaders can drive their teams crazy with ease. Number 1 is the performance judge. This person is highly skilled to deliver feedback in a way that sends receivers right away into fight, flight, or freeze. Number 2 is the control freak. This type of leader knows for certain that they must direct and define all the small details of their team members' work. Number 3 is the know-it-all. This leader type will justify their paycheck by giving their 2 cents to everything. Their advice comes first, no questions asked. Number 4 is the fake delegator. This leader has mastered the skill to fly in and fly out to delegate. They will give as little freedom as possible while doing so. In our bootcamp, we will look at these 4 prototypes and learn what makes them so effective at achieving their goal. We might even discuss some alternatives, how it can be done differently.
All right. So I hope you liked that one. As you can see, there's a bit of reverse psychology here. So the idea for this video is to be a light-hearted and interesting and fun experiential onboarding point for people who are curious about the Leader Academy. So I'm running this together with Christian Erhardt, who you might have seen is also an insider to the program. And we're running this on Monday, the 21st of September, 8 p.m. And again, it's free for insiders. We will charge other people $30, a seriousness fee, you would say. So hope you can make it for both of those sessions. They are one way for me to give back, to really give back to this audience, to all the people who have given so much of their time so far in contributing. Now, on a high level, what are the things that happened in the video or in the sessions last week? Well, the first thing was we discussed the program in a nutshell. Then we talked about web page design. Then we talked program logistics. I need to change something here in terms of color. And yeah, there were some more surprises. Now, the program outline in a nutshell. And I asked people for the clarity and how interesting is it, what you see? And what's your advice? And I'll give you the same very quick rundown in just a minute. Now, the IntelliCoach Leader Academy is broken down into 5 pieces. You see them here. The first part is becoming prepared. for the course and becoming prepared to be a coach. The second part is to become a coach. The third part is to become a leader coach. The fourth, to become experienced and IntelliCoach certified. And at that point, you might even stop, but most people will probably want to take that route and join step number 5, where they become globally recognized and ICF ACC certified. And in that session, I used my time to go a bit deeper here and understand what it means to become prepared. It's especially that commitment. When you become a coach, this is the core curriculum that the ICF suggests we use. It is the core competencies of a coach. Becoming a leader coach is really about helping people translate those skills into their work as a leader. And we are applying it to our team members, our peers, and our own bosses. And when we become experienced, we're taking it a step further. We are going to coaching labs, we're practicing. And at the end of it, you pass a test, you submit a recording, you become certified as an IntelliCoach leader coach. And that's a credible coaching certificate. If you want to go further than that, you will get all the support you need from IntelliCoach, from this program, to get on your path to ACC certification, which is the first step on the path of mastery for doing coaching. The ACC is a credible, globally recognized certificate for coaches, and the IntelliCoach Leader Academy will get you there if you want that. So I've asked for feedback, and I think what I got is it becomes clear, and you can also see for the people who attended the first session that outline already looks a lot different. So I've got feedback that the difference between the first 4 steps and the 5th was not very clear. I made it a lot clearer. People liked the terminology of becoming something. It makes it sound very intentional. And I've tried to clear up some confusion around the ICF requirements. So this is something which you also find later. I will use this picture a lot going forward in terms of visualizing the outline of the program. So let me know if this is not clear, if there is something I can make even clearer. The second thing I addressed was web page design. And I've only specifically talked about the first impression that you get from seeing the so-called hero picture that you see when you open a web page for the first time. Picture shows up, what emotion is triggered in you? Because as you know, when you meet new people, you don't think things through. You know quite intuitively, do I like what I see? Do I like who I meet? Or do I not like? And it's quite a challenge to change that impression. So I'm looking for your help for me to open people's minds and be open to explore this, first on an emotional level and then on a cognitive thinking level. And what I ask is what it triggers in you. And I'll show you the example here. So what people see for the very first time when they open it, they see a hero picture like this. So a big face, highlighted word, and a promise in a way. And I showed people a number of them. I showed them to you. I've created a number, and what will happen is once you go to that web page, after a few seconds it will cycle to another picture. It's also randomized. There was a tip I got. Yeah. So thanks, Michael. So every time almost when somebody opens the page, it will show up as a new picture. And there are quite a number of them. I'll quickly flick through. There's dreaming. There's wondering. There's questioning. There's willing. Are you serious? Are you ready? Are you aspiring to become something? Are you curious? I'm not even asking you to read these. Are you convinced? Are you energized? Are you excited? Are you sincere? So I've used this and I've asked people, what is your impression? What did you get? And to the people who have been in the session, you already see the difference now, don't you? Because I've heard that, yes, it's nice. However, it might already be a bit boring, specifically because I showed all these pictures in a row. So I flipped horizontally. Some people show up on the left. I've aligned some of the words to the meaning of to the pictures, to the meaning of the words. Also, thank you for the diversity prompters. Having a sort of senior white male to be the person who is ready, yeah, didn't strike me well as well after it was mentioned to me. So I tried to, as you can see, paint a very diverse picture. And I would like to make clear through this leading in that coaching is for everyone. It is something that everybody can learn. It's something that everybody is, something that everybody can find useful in learning and acquiring. And feedback that I got was, yeah, it's catchy. I hope I fixed some of the diversity and bias issues. I put in a bit of visual variety, yeah, and I will definitely make the order random. You can see that definitely as a given. Now, what picture should be shown first? Again, it will definitely not be anyone specific. It will be random. I just had to cancel a call on my watch. So the main story of the web page is something that I'm still developing, and you will see this over the next few weeks. I'm leading in with a promise and idea of I want people to report when they ask the question, how many of your leaders so far were great leaders? I want them to report 80%. Yeah, most of my leaders were great leaders. The reality right now is that it's very small. It's a very small amount of people who might say this number, and usually people report it's about 20%, and that's something which I got from working with hundreds of leaders over the last few years. And this is something which I'm yet to share with you in more detail. The more important, let me know whether you have any more feedback based, by the way, on this. The more important question here is the question about program logistics. And I'm sharing with you here what I will ask you in the survey that is also linked in the email that you got. I'm really wondering how can I help you fit these 65 hours of learning into your busy schedule? And I see a couple of ways, but there are a few non-negotiables that we have to consider. It is 65 hours. It's about 55 hours of online learning. All lessons must be completed. 90% of the lessons must be participated live as well, and people have to participate and complete a quiz correctly. Now, I see a number of options. Option one is the one of a continuous learning model. That means for over 4 months, there are 2 learning sessions every week, and they will last 2 hours. And option two might be continuous, but with some peaks. That means we have, yes, 4 months, but we also have every month a half-day session on the weekend to go a bit deeper. And every week there will be still 2 learning sessions, but they will be a little bit shorter, 1.5 hours, because we're saving a bit of time. Option 3 is the one of, I will call it Big Bang, you can also call it binge learning. 4 months, 16 weeks, every 2 months, 2 learning days, and each learning day would be 2 times 3 hours with a longer lunch break. So, and a few hours of learning in between. So that's probably the spectrum. But after talking to you guys, I came up with an additional idea dimension, and that is one of deciding versus cohort versus flexible. And I'm looking at 2 different needs here. One need is, yeah, I want to get my certificate fast. And that's somebody who joins in January, for example, completes all the sessions and is certified by May. But oftentimes, these 4 months might not be sufficient. And my reality, I notice as a leader, things might happen that are outside of control and you cannot participate sessions. So I'm considering offering flexibility. For example, that people, leaders, you can join a cycle that starts after you. Let's say you join in January, you miss a number of sessions, and you are free to decide to join the next cycle that starts in March. And you can join the sessions there to complete your learning. And I might offer that people can stay in the program for 6 months, for example. That means they can go through an additional cycle or join an additional cycle. So this is really my thinking, and I wonder, the questions that I'm really wondering about is now, when should these sessions, for example, be during the week? Morning, lunch, or evening? How willing would you be to participate in a longer weekend session? How important is a cohort model for you? When should it happen? How much time flexibility should the program give? So I'm asking these questions to you in a post survey. This is the survey that I'm asking you, and I'm really curious to hear your opinions. How important is it for you to learn in that cohort? And I'm also asking you very specifically, what time in the day would work for you? Is it morning? Would you want to do it before lunch or before even breakfast? So I'm not assuming anything. I'm really curious what you're saying, because this will define the way how I will offer this program. So I promised 2 more surprises. Here they are. Number 1, the surprise is that the learning portal is live in its technical beta. That means you can already see as a member the first content, a committed start, for example. All you need to do is, in that survey, there's going to be a question that asks you, do you want to participate in the beta of the LMS? If you say yes, you're going to get an email with credentials from intellicoach.com. You can log in. There is a members area with my courses, and you can see iLab, stands for IntelliCoach Leader Academy Program. You can participate here and see as I build it. This will be free and available for all insiders throughout the beta period, which is going to last a few months. So this is another gift to you all that I hope you enjoy. And once you're there, every learning content you can submit comments and feedback. Anything I've done wrong, any wrong note I hit, any more diversity issues that I should address. And the last surprise. Well, I was wondering how I should promote this now. As you know, I'm looking for 12, at least 12, maybe 15. That would be fantastic. 15 people who join us for this first pilot. The minimum that I absolutely require for ICF to accredit my program is 5. So I need 5 people. And I wonder if you, the insiders, do not want to participate yourself. How would you maybe introduce it to somebody else? Somebody who could really benefit from it. And I've created something which I probably would appreciate. I created a flyer. So I created a flyer, and you might probably recognize and the title picture. I created a flyer that sort of outlines the main ideas of the program, the 5 steps, what you become as part of the journey. I highlight also the rough timeline. The onboarding will happen sort of this month, and we are starting in mid-October. I did not include the schedule, of course, because I don't have yet exactly when and how the sessions will be run. Part of that is being decided through the feedback you're giving me. And I've included also the, you will see as a back page, this exact outcome, this exact journey, to help people see what is part of that content. Yeah. What is the promise of this program? So see this as my gift to your friends. This is the one-time chance to join a program like this. As I mentioned, I offer this for a unique price of $1,500, which takes you 4 months all the way with support to certification with the ICF ACC. The earliest time that anybody from this pilot could accredit or could certify is probably July, maybe even August. Depends on how fast I can accredit this program with your help. And also depends on how fast you are going to collect your 100 hours, which is part of that 5th step to become recognized as an ICF ACC. But because not everybody likes this picture, you know who I'm talking to, I've created a number of them. I went a bit crazy and I enjoyed this, and I created as many flyers as there are title pictures. So pick your poison, choose the one that you like the most. In this newsletter you'll find a link. You find a link, Pilot in One Page, where you find exactly all those PDFs. So this video took a little bit longer. I promised 10 minutes. I was about 19. but I hope this is better than 1 hour. This was quite an intense summary, a lot of content. I will send you, I hope that this is a useful summary and that it gave you a lot of insight where the program is right now. The main juncture is really about the logistics. Yeah. I hope this was fun, this was useful. If you have feedback, please let me know. The one thing you can help me the most with is right now that you fill out that survey and attend the 2 sessions that I mentioned to you in the beginning. The session that is run with Alex and the session I'm going to run with Christian, because they are free for insiders and they're costing outsiders some extra money. All the best. This is Mike. It's good to talk to you, even this way. Bye.